Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited. Watsonville Pilots win court fight with airport. Spirit Airlines reaches a deal to emerge from bankruptcy. CEO to spend 4 years in prison after selling 60,000 fake engine parts. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Cam Walton. Let's get into today's stories. Watsonville Pilots win court fight with airport. A Santa Cruz County Superior Court judge has ruled in favor of the Watsonville Pilots Association, finding that the City of Watsonville, California, unlawfully approved development projects near Watsonville Municipal Airport without complying with state aeronautical law and prior court orders. In a 24-page statement of decision issued February 3, 2026, Judge Timothy Schmal granted the Pilots Association's petitions for writ of mandate, declaratory relief, and injunctive relief, including that the city acted in violation of the State Aeronautics Act and the California Environmental Quality Act. The ruling centers on the city's 2021 approval of a 21-unit residential project at 547 Airport Boulevard, located within the airport's designated safety zones. The court found that the city approved the project despite failing to incorporate mandatory state airport safety standards contained in the California Airport Land Use Planning Handbook into its general plan, as required by law and by earlier court rulings dating back more than a decade. The court traced a long history of litigation between the WPA and the city, noting that both the Superior Court and the 6th District Court of Appeal previously ruled in 2008, 2010, and again in 2014 that Watsonville must incorporate state aeronautical safety criteria as non-discretionary standards in its planning document. After the break, American Airlines jet lands with bullet holes in wing.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit surewings.com and bdaviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. American Airlines jet lands with bullet holes in wing. An American Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 was taken out of service after a routine post-flight inspection found puncture marks on the aircraft's right aileron. Quote, "Following a routine inspection, our teams identified a puncture to the exterior of one of our aircraft in Medellin, Colombia." End quote. American Airlines said in a statement, quote, "The aircraft was immediately removed from service for further inspection and repair. We will work closely with all relevant authorities to investigate this incident," end quote. Maintenance crews discovered the damage after the airplane landed at Miami International Airport Monday morning. Bill proposed to streamline FAA certification for AAM aircraft. The Aviation Innovation and Global Competitiveness Act is intended to streamline the FAA's type certification process for advanced air mobility AAM aircraft. The legislation would bolster FAA bandwidth to provide gridlock and increase transparency in the certification process. The bill would establish standard expected timelines for the FAA's type certification process for AAM aircraft for the agency to respond to petitions for exemptions of aircraft type and to develop means of compliance for aircraft outside of the existing types of AAM aircraft. Ted Cruz says ROTOR Act will become law. U.S. Senate Commerce Committee Chairman Ted Cruz said the ROTOR Act will become law and the House vote against the bill is just a temporary setback. Although the ROTOR Act did not meet the procedural threshold for expected consideration under House rules, a strong majority of House members did vote in favor of the bill, highlighting the legislation's broad bipartisan support. Combined with the unanimous passage of the bill in the Senate, the House vote of 264 to 133 makes clear that Congress overwhelmingly supports enactment of the bill, Cruz said. Spatial disorientation training well established at UND. The University of North Dakota's John D. Odegaard School of Aerospace Sciences faculty and staff have for decades been training pilots to recognize and manage spatial disorientation long before the issue gained national attention. Quote, "This is something we've been teaching for a very long time," said Tom Ziedlik, aerospace physiologist at UND. "The big deal about this is that now the FAA has recognized that this training has to happen," end quote. The FAA's Information for Operators, otherwise known as INFO 26003, encourages operators and training programs to incorporate spatial disorientation training into standard pilot education. Well, that's it for our trip around the patch. Now let's return to the rest of the news. Spirit Airlines reaches deal to emerge from bankruptcy. Spirit Airlines has made an agreement with creditors that will allow it to emerge from bankruptcy later this spring or early summer. The airline had ongoing losses and 2 bankruptcy filings, so the deal reached will allow it to survive as a smaller company. Quote, "Spirit will emerge as a strong, leaner competitor that is positioned to profitably deliver the value American consumers expect at a price they want to pay," end quote, said CEO Dave Davis in a statement. The budget carrier filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in August for the second time in less than a year, aiming to stay in business despite numerous business challenges. Spirit had about 25,000 direct employees and independent contractors as of August, including 3,100 pilots, 5,300 flight attendants, and 600 aircraft maintenance technicians. Spirit had a 3.9% market share in domestic passenger miles during the 12-month period ending in September, making it the 7th largest domestic operator. The agreement with lenders says Spirit will emerge from bankruptcy by early summer as a smaller but still independent company. The carrier has been unloading planes to save money and cut debt amid choppy demand in the oversupplied market for low-cost flying. Under the agreement, Spirit is projected to cut its annual fleet costs by more than $550 million. After these messages, CEO to spend 4 years in prison after selling 60,000 fake engine parts.
Backed by over 30 years of Aero-News reporting, PropWash is the daily email newsletter that delivers top aviation headlines to your inbox, expert reporting, clean facts, and real insight. Start your day with aviation news you can trust. Subscribe to PropWash today at aero-news.net.
There's a lot of places I get to at the end of the runway or in turnarounds that I need an engine running. So for me, it's very important to have a product that I'm absolutely confident with. I am very confident with the Trailblazer propeller. And when I'm flying air shows, I know that propeller is going to be right for me.
Welcome back. CEO to spend 4 years in prison after selling 60,000 fake engine parts. The former head of London's AOG Technics will be spending 4 years and 8 months in the can after admitting to having sold more than 60,000 fake aircraft engine parts into the global supply chain. The parts were primarily tied to the iconic CFM56 family engine, which powers upwards of 15,000 Airbus and Boeing aircraft worldwide. 38-year-old Jose Alejandro Zamora Irala pleaded guilty in December to fraudulent trading. Prosecutors claim that he falsified documentation about the origin and airworthiness components sold through AOG Technics between 2019 and 2023. Those parts entered maintenance channels that airlines and repair stations rely on daily. Though no incidents have been tied to the fake parts, the sheer popularity of the power plant meant bad news for the industry once Zamora Irala's dealings were uncovered. The 2023 fallout triggered inspections worldwide and temporarily grounded multiple aircraft. Before the scheme was discovered, AOG Technics turned over major figures, generating roughly $9.3 million from the falsified parts. This accounted for about 90% of the company's revenue. The industry impact was far larger, however. Investigators pegged total losses at approximately $53 million for inspections, engine removals, replacement leasing, and aircraft downtime. American Airlines alone reported about $31 million in losses related to repairs and grounded aircraft. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to add us on social media. Thanks for watching.